offer was raised from £200,000 sterling to £454,000 sterling. But at no point did Jane ever consider taking any money.
Money offered by O'Bara had already been accepted by the women he had raped. The family of Carita Ridgway had rejected his offer.
In Japanese criminal cases, it's not uncommon for someone who's been accused of a crime to pay money to a victim. It's not compensation. He's very clear about that. He's not compensating for anything because he insists he's done nothing wrong. It's presented as condolence money, an expression of his sympathy, not an expression of his guilt and repentance.
We were told by the prosecutor so many times, under no circumstances should we take any money if we've offered it by O'Bara or anyone relating to O'Bara. And I'd said all along there's no way I would take any money ever, because I just think it's obscene.
Lucie's father, Tim, was also offered the money, but he took a totally different view.
The idea of somebody offering what they're describing as condolence money, we would describe it over here as damages of some sort. You know, people get fined for their crimes, and maybe the fine goes to the state, or in some cases people receive damages for damages that have been perpetrated against them. You know, I don't understand why it's sort of such a complicated issue, really.
Tim accepted the money, a payment of 100 million yen, or £420,000. It was to cause a bitter divide with his ex-wife.
I had been told that it wouldn't affect the outcome of the trial, and I think for me the big thing is that it's not going to make any difference to Lucie at all, and we've got our life to get on with.
I just couldn't believe that he'd done it. You know, knowing that the prosecutor had said so many times not to do it, I just couldn't believe that any parent wanting justice for their child could do that. I just didn't understand it.
In April 2007, with the family still divided over the condolence payment, Lucie's father and sister flew to Tokyo to hear the verdict. Almost 7 years had passed since Lucie had gone missing.
For Tim and Sophie Blackman, the day started out with high expectations, with most people predicting a guilty verdict against Joji O'Bara.
It's very difficult to know that we're going into the court, leaving the decision entirely in someone else's hands, but hopefully we will get the sentence we're wishing for.
The announcement was made within the first few minutes of the court session opening, and there was a massive rush of chairs being pushed back and journalists rushing out of the door.
Jane had waited at home to hear the verdict.
The British Embassy phoned us, and they actually spoke to Roger, because I just thought, I want him to hear it because I won't take it all in. And I just couldn't believe that he'd been acquitted.
After a trial lasting 6 years, Joji O'Bara was cleared on all charges relating to Lucie Blackman. The judge ruled that there was insufficient evidence to prove that he'd been involved in her killing.
Well, we were stunned. I mean, we sat in the court stunned.
I think, you know, when you say someone's broken-hearted, I am broken-hearted. I have a pain there that never goes away.
But O'Bara was found guilty of 9 rapes and the death of Carita Ridgway. He was sentenced to life imprisonment. The judge said the condolence money paid by O'Bara to the women he had raped had made no impact on the verdict.
Tim Blackman, of course, accepted a large sum of money from O'Bara, and I think that at least the way it should work is that if money is paid, it might have an effect on the sentence, but it doesn't have any effect on deciding whether someone is guilty or innocent.
This year, O'Bara was brought back before the court. The prosecution is appealing against the judge's decision to find him not guilty of Lucie's abduction, rape and killing. O'Bara continues to maintain his innocence. The story of Lucie Blackman could have become just another salutary tale about a young woman who left her home in suburban Britain went missing abroad and came to a tragic end. But the determination of her family to find her and their relentless campaign to discover the truth led in the end to the capture of a dangerous and predatory criminal.
I think Lucie, in a way of her generosity to other people, in a strange way, Lucie had found justice for Carita and for the 6 women who were part of the trial, and for the hundreds of women who weren't part of the trial, who felt they'd received justice. It all came from Lucie.
The family have never been able to find justice for their own daughter.
I miss her hugs, I miss the smell of her, I miss her smile, and I just have to live with it. But it's very hard. It's not the right way round for your child to die before you.
Well, coming up next on ITV4, Michael Caine stars in The Fourth Protocol. And who's the greatest of them all when it comes to flogging hot tubs? The 5 remaining contestants fight it out after the news in Natural Born Cellars.